Hi everyone, it's Matthew here, and I'm here to talk about our Norway cruise for 2026. Now, here we are again. Of course, I was doing this in November because we were originally going to go to Alaska, and that changed because of everything that's going on in the United States. And I'm here to support other countries other than the United States right now. We will end up going to Alaska eventually, probably in 5 years. But right now, I just didn't feel like it was a right fit. So here we are now going to Norway. Now, I chose Norway because it's very similar to Alaska. The only major difference between Alaska and Norway is that Alaska has animals and Norway, yes, it does have animals, but we won't be seeing like any major animals in Norway when we go. So it's all about the beauty and the nature of it. Think about us going for walks, right? We're going to be outside. It's going to be very outdoorsy. We'll be climbing up mountains a little bit, kayaking, all these things. It's all about the outdoor adventure of going to Norway. But of course, the major part is going into the fjords. Now, this is what makes it so unique and special because it's very hard to go to Norway. Fly into some place in Norway, take a bus to a fjord, and then take a boat. It's a lot of work to do this. So this is the easiest way to make that happen. Norway's also a bucket list, and it's very expensive. Or actually, the room rates went up by the inside cabins went up by $700 for this. So it is very expensive, and that's just why I want to give people as much time as they can to get ready for this cruise. I also love this cruise because it's like a bookend cruise. Like you start with a sea day, you have 4 days in port, and then you have one sea day at the end. Um, so you're gonna have one day to get used to the ship, and then it's go, 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 and then you get this beautiful sea day to relax. What's also great about this cruise is that we're in port pretty early in the morning, around 7 or 8, and we leave around 2 or 3 for most of the ports. So you get to have this experience inside the ports, and then we get to have the experience on the cruise ship. So we're going to have lots of dinners on the cruise ship. We're going to be able to enjoy the music on the ship, and it's going to be so great because of that. Now, if you get off of this cruise, you're like, I don't like cruising. I don't like how this works. Yeah, this is the cruise that will prove to you if you love cruising or not love cruising. This will be it for this particular cruise line. Now, I ended up picking Holland America Line. Yes, I've worked for Holland America Line. I don't get any kickbacks or anything from Holland America, but I love this cruise. We are on the Rotterdam, which is the sister ship to the Koningsdam, which we were going to go on in Alaska. It's their newest ship in the fleet, and it's the flagship. I don't know. This is probably the fifth or sixth ship since they've been around for over 100 years to be called the Rotterdam. So that might bring extra perks or extra. They really try to keep these ships, this particular ship, in pristine because it's the flagship. So it's going to be a great thing. I'll show you some photos of the rooms in a second, and you will see that it is, it's a 5-star cruise line. Which means, this is the best you can get before you go to 5-star where it's only 500 people and everything's included and the price is doubled. This you get a bit of that experience at a more inexpensive price, but you're not losing any of that elegance of it. So it's really a really amazing cruise line to be on because of that. And because this is a medium range ship, we're on the largest ship or this class, Pinnacle class, is only 2,600 people. And that allows us to get into normal ports that other cruise lines can't get into. Okay, so that's really special and really amazing about this. The other thing about a lot of these ports that we're going into when we're going through the fjords is that there may be only 1 or 2 ships other in port for most of these places. So that means we're not going to be overrun with a lot of, cruise ship passengers. Okay, so that's just why I love this particular cruise of it. Now, the other thing what you need to remember is how does this all work? What's Matthew's responsibility, and then what is Holland America's responsibility? So Courtney is going to be our cruise consultant, and basically, when you are ready to pay for your down payment, I don't really want people signing up on the waiting list until you're ready to pay, right? If you're not ready or you're not committed, I don't want people on the waiting list. I really just want people when you're ready to do it to be there. You'll sign up, you'll put your email, and then I will email you probably in a few hours with the instructions of how to get in contact with Courtney. She's going to help you set up getting your room. She's going to help you with a payment, setting up your payment. And then once you set up your payment, you can go in and constantly put down that payment as you do it. From the moment you have your down payment, you have until um, I think it's March. I think March is the last time for your down payment if I'm correct. So I think March is the last time you can put down payment, and you got to have a full payment down by April 1st of 2026. So you have a long time, almost a year now, to get everything ready for your cruise. So then what am I responsible for? I will help set up the restaurants. I will answer all your questions about cruise ship life. I will talk about the ports. I will, help with anything like that about cruise life. We don't want to overwhelm Courtney with so many questions. However, and this is very important, before you ask me a question, you have to say, can I Google this question and get an answer for it first? So let's say, what's the weather like in Norway? If you ask me that question, I'm Googling that, right? What should I wear in Norway? You can Google that. So think about, can I Google this first before I ask the question? Okay, there's lots of videos online about what cruising is like and what you're going to be experiencing and how that all is. I actually have a few videos online when you sign up, of people who've gone to Norway and their experience there, going there. Okay. And then when you do ask me a question, can you do it in a sentence? Can you say, like, once again, what's the weather in Norway, right? Can I? I don't need to know the reason why you're messaging me and why it's important and your life. As much as I like those things, let's try to keep it as simple, simplistic as we can. But we'll also have a WhatsApp group that you will join once you have paid for your down payment, and then you can ask me questions through that. I don't mind questions. I don't mind answering questions. I just want to make sure, can you Google it first? That's my main thing. Okay. So we will be going into Norway. We have a few ports that we will be going through. We're going to share my screen with you guys right now. We're going to share our screen. Okay, here we'll share our sound. This is it. We're going to share our screen. So we're going to share my screen with you. So I'm going to show you where we will be going for our 7 days. So this is basically it. So our first day, we sail out of Rotterdam. We have a sea day. Then we're going to Haw Sound. This one has a lot of tours to do. I was looking at things, lots of tours to do. There's a waterfall that we may be able to go to. Then you'll see Mold. Probably not saying these places right. We're going through the fjords. So in the morning, you'll go on the fjords, and then we'll come out of the fjords. Remember, this is the midnight sun, so it's like around, sun goes down around 11:30, sun goes up around 1:30. So if you want to get up early at 6 o'clock, you can look in the fjords. This is a very small town, once again, but there's lots of things to do: waterfalls, walking, kayaking, all that stuff. Olden is another small town again with the fjords that will be going in and out. The fjords are so beautiful. Norway is one of my favorite places that I've ever been. Like when somebody says, what do you love? I love Norway. Norway is beautiful. I'm so glad I get to go back there, and I'm so glad that I get to do this with the meetup group. I forgot to say this in the beginning. I do want to say that this is your cruise. However, it's also a meetup. So if you're not prepared to connect with people and have dinner with us and do activities with us, then this might not be a right fit for you. Okay. But we're adults, and I'm not going to be calling you out on that stuff. However, this is a meetup because you want to have the shared experience to do this. And by the end of this, you are going to love many of the people on the meetup. You may walk away with that person wasn't for me, and that's okay. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to create some really amazing friendships because we're together all the time. Not all the time, but there'll be times I'll be like, hey, I'm going to be at this bar. Come and join me at this time. Okay. Now that I've put that out of the way, then we have Stryvginger. Now, this is going to be my favorite port at the end because they have this amazing rock. It's the famous rock that they have there. And we'll take a bus to it. And then it's like you walk on this sort of like this edge, and you get to see the entire fjord. Most amazing thing that you want to do when you go to Norway. I can't wait. I missed out on that when I was in that port, but I can't wait to do it. And then finally, we have a sea day. And then we're gonna have an amazing sea day. Look, I put sea today. It's a sea day, and we will be enjoying the sea that day, which is great because you're gonna be tired and be like, I just want to relax. I just want to do this. I want to drink. I want to do all that stuff there that we'll be doing. So I'm gonna stop sharing now. Continue on our way here. Um, so yeah, so that is going to be that amazing thing. Of course, we'll be doing tours. Like I said, every day we'll have a tour. Um, uh, right, tours will cost about $150 uh, per day. We may only do 3 tours, and maybe one day I'll be like, let's not do a tour on that day. Let's just find something else to do that day. But like I've said, these are all tours where you're going to be traveling around. I like for us to go to a Viking village or like a Viking farming town. I think that's pretty cool. And driving through the countryside. There's many things that we could be doing there. Lots and lots of tour, but these will be outdoor tours. I'm not going to Norway than to sit on a bus and drive through a town where they point to a church or point to a museum or whatever. I want us to actually be in Norway and do Norwegian things. Okay, so I will share my screen with you again. Actually, we're going to stay on this for a bit. Okay, let's share my screen with you. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, okay. Here we go. Here. Okay. So accommodation. So first thing you need to know is that I'll put this up here, that the cost for the rooms, let me go up here. Okay, you'll see here. Okay, so these are the costs. Indoor cabin is starting at $4,423. Ocean view is 5,450 and 55 cents. And the last one, a veranda, is $5,807. So let's show you the ship. Okay, we are on a beautiful ship. This is their newest ship. So beautiful. Right, like I said, about 2,600 guests on the ship here. And I will just scroll down here to our rooms. Let's go to the inside cabins. I always say that these rooms look a lot smaller than they actually are. But this is pretty big. So this is the inside cabin. Remember, this is the midnight sun, so you may want an inside cabin, especially if you have a hard time sleeping. They do have great blackout curtains. You would have to have a mask on, but if you really, really want to make sure you're going to sleep well, you are going to sleep well inside the inside cabin. If you are somebody who thinks you may get seasickness or whatever, you want the middle of the ship in the middle section of the ship. That is the best place to be. And that is because you want rooms all around you, right? You don't want to be sleeping under the stage, right? Like that's not a great place to stage. But Courtney will help you find the perfect room for you. You can also, they'll ask you if you want to do a free upgrade as well, and you can do that. The free upgrade might not be as good as the room that you have. So really think about that, because it might say, yeah, we're going to put you in this amazing balcony, but then you're under the stage, right? Like that's not a great room. Okay, so think about that. So this is the inside cabin. Just notice that the beds can be pulled apart, so don't be scared about that. If you walk into your room and you're with a friend, they will, and they forgot to do that, they will do it. These are Egyptian cotton sheets, which is considered the best. As you can tell, you know, it's very modern, right? There's nothing grandma-y about it. It's very nice. This, right? The bathrooms are quite small, so you do need to know, look how the toilet is. Bathrooms are very small. You have enough room to pack your stuff here. And this is the inside cabin. The ocean view, once again, has basically has a big window, and you'll get a little couch and that. So if you want a little bit more space on it, so here's the bathroom, and then here's the actual room. Again, they'll move the beds apart. So they'll move the beds apart, and then they'll put the end tables in the inside for this. Okay, very great room. And then finally, was there one more? Boop. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, these pictures don't do justice to the rooms. They're actually quite big. Okay, and then once again, this is this one? Veranda, and that basically means you have a balcony. So maybe you want to sit and watch the fjords on your own versus coming out and joining us on the deck and watching the fjords. That's your personal prerogative. But yes. And then this is the inside of it once again. These rooms can actually fit 4 people, not comfortably, but you can fit 4 people. Now, I also want to explain that when you look at the cost here, you will see, let's say you want to bring somebody with you, or you want me to find somebody, we'll work together on that. You have to add about $1,000 and then divide that by 2. So let's say you want inside cabin, you want a inside cabin, it's $5,000. And then you add another person, and it's now $6,000. It's $3,000 per person. Okay, but this particular cost here, that is for your entire room for yourself, by yourself, including everything. Okay, so that is that's going to be the cost for that. Okay, now let's talk about the food. Holland America is known for its food. You need to know everything on the ship is fresh and it's made fresh. And yes, they bring it in maybe on the beginning of this, on the first day when we board the ship, and then when we go into port, they'll bring in fresh fish in the ports that we are, so we'll get fresh whatever Norway's known for, but they're known for their fish. There'll be fresh fish on it. Okay. Pinnacle Grill is included. Oh no, Pinnacle Grill is not included in your fare. Think the keg. This is this place, except it's a little bit nicer keg. This will cost about $50 to $75 per person. A Cataletto is not included. It's an additional cost. It's an Italian restaurant. It's okay. We do it sometimes when I worked on the ship just because we wanted something different, but it wasn't my favorite place or better places in Toronto to eat. Tamarin, hands down, the best place on the ship. Everybody wants to eat there. Every crew member wants to go there. It is the best place. It is an Asian infusion place to go. The food there is going there. When we do our one meal, this is where we're going for that one meal. Okay. For that. Okay. Then you have Rudy's. Rudy's is just an upscale fancy fish place, seafood place. There, the Lido markets included. If you ever joined us for Hot House, I recommend that you join us for Hot House for Easter. It's like better than that. Like the food, they're so good. Like it's like there's steak, and sometimes they have lobster tails and pasta. They make pasta from scratch. It's so it's really really good, really amazing. It's really good. We may just have the dinner there one night. It's that good. Then you have the dive-in. The dive-in is this is only open during lunch. The Lido Market only has things open at lunch as well. So like we call it the Asian station, and that's usually only open at lunch. The dive-in is only open at lunch, and it has hamburgers and hot dogs. And sometimes they have a taco bar. I don't know if they got rid of that. It was fine. Taco Bell was fine. Nothing exciting, but this is what it is. Okay, then you have New York Pizza. That's open pretty late after the Lido closes. Or remember, food isn't 24/7 on the ship that some people may feel like, oh, like why does the buffet close? The buffet closes and it opens. But pizza's usually open till late at night. Sometimes you got to wait 45 minutes for your pizza, but they make everything from scratch. And then you have dining service. Let's say you don't feel well one night or you don't want to have breakfast. You can just have it right delivered to your door, and that's included in your cost. Another one is the sushi restaurant. This is brand new to Holland America. So if you love sushi, you will love this place. It's probably really good. I don't love sushi personally, but I bet you it's some of the best sushi. Gelato as well that they have on the cruise. No, there is an ice cream station, and that's free, but the gelato is like $2. It's probably a bit more now. But it was fine. Like, I mean, if you're in Europe, like it's better, it's probably better than what you get in Toronto, but not as good as Europe. We won't be doing Orange Club because we're not Orange Club members. We have this. This is another pop-up sea event, and that might happen in one of the rooms. I'm not sure. It's only on New Amsterdam, so that won't be on our ship. All right, and then finally the dining room. The dining room is phenomenal. You can order everything on the menu. You can order everything more than once. Sometimes there's an exception, like if you want another lobster tail, you may have to buy another lobster tail. Or if you want certain things on the menu, it may cost more money to do that on the ship. Okay, so the food, but they're known for their food, and they're actually upgrading their food even more, which is phenomenal to do. Okay, so what is there to do on the actual ship? Okay, so they have onboard shopping, fine, whatever. They have a fitness center. They have fitness classes that you can go to for free. You may have to pay for it. You have your navigating card. We have the casino, which is amazing. They have a movie at night by the pool. Pickleball is new to the cruise as well. They have kids club. This is a 21 and older event. So, we do not want children. I know I work with children. However, it just adds a wrinkle into the whole thing about people who don't want to have children, people who don't want to have children. And I'll be honest, I worked for the kids club. It's fine. But after your kids going into like port 2 days in a row, they're going to get bored. It just feels like the same. And then they end up in the kids club for the afternoon and they're bored out of their mind. Okay. Because only one or two kids will be in there. Okay. unless it's like Europe and you're 16 days, and by the time you get to the seventh day, like it's all hell is broke loose in the kids club. But it's not, they have evening programs. This might be a bit different because it's 3 to 17, but I don't think they have a teens program anymore. Anyways, but things changes on the cruise. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Okay, activities. So Holland America is known for the music walk, and other cruise lines have taken this concept and put it on their ship. Okay. They have Billboard on board, which is basically the dueling pianos that they have there. Those are like top 40 songs. It's a sing-along. It's great. The world stage, that's their main stage. That's when they're going to have shows every single night. Sometimes they have a dance show. Sometimes they have like a musical theater theme like show on the ship. They don't have musicals per se. Like you're not going there. There's no Mamma Mia. But they will have musical theater type things, great singers. They'll talk about the ports that they're going to be in. It's very an amazing, it's I think it's pretty, the screens are all around, so it's pretty cool. Um, the Rolling Stones, exactly what it is. It's rock music. It's really amazing. Do everything. They also have the BB Kings, which I haven't seen there. BB Kings is phenomenal, has their own spot. One of my favorite spaces on the ship that they have there. Sometimes they have classical music. This one may or may not have it. Everything I say, you have to take with a grain of salt because things can change on the ship. That's very important to understand. Things change all the time. I had 3 different uniforms over 5 years I was on the ship. It changes all the time. So you never know. Like Rolling Stones may no longer be there as well. But you will not be bored on the ship. There are things to do. Even on top of this, there's trivia nights. There's like I said, pickleball. There's bingo. There's lots of bars. There's music. There's always things to do on the ship all the time. So even if you get bored, your room has movies in your room. So there's always things to do all the time on the ship, and you will have a great time to do those things on the cruise ship. Okay, I'm going to stop this. Let's see what else. See what else I need to cover here. Okay. Okay. Oh yes, I do want to say something about Holland America that people know about in the cruise industry. Holland America's also nickname is Old in America. Normally, the average age on Holland America is about 60 years old and a little bit older than that. And that's because it costs more, right? It costs more. They go into interesting ports around the world. So that attracts an older clientele and a more wealthier clientele. During the summer, that can fall down to about 45. When I was on the ship, I never felt like, oh my goodness, this is like an old age retirement home that I'm on here. I never felt like that ever because we're going to be in our own little pods doing our own little things, focusing on what we're doing. And I never felt that way ever. Right. And so, yes, the ship will shut down around 1:30 and their disco, their club won't be jamming like other clubs like on Royal or on Carnival, but it's more of a relaxing environment. Okay. And you don't want to be staying up till 2 o'clock anyways, because we're going to be getting up at 7 o'clock to get to a port at 8 o'clock and get off the ship and go and eat breakfast and all that stuff. Okay. So yes, it's an older cruise line, but it's not going to feel that way at all. Okay. So what are the extra costs that you need to think about when you are taking the cruise? So there are extra costs. So the first one is your flights. I was looking at flights just to see what it'd be like to fly like this summer from Toronto to Rotterdam, and it was $1,600. It was through an American through American airline, and it was $1,600. And I'm like, that's pretty expensive and took a long time. Then I said, okay, what would it be like to fly from Toronto to Amsterdam? Because I bet you they have more flights. And it was $1,100. So you might want to think about flying into Amsterdam. You want to fly in the day before, you got to pay for a hotel, and then take the train early in the morning to get to Rotterdam. Okay. And you're going to save, at least $500 that way. Okay, I'm probably going to fly into Amsterdam 2 days before and visit, I really want to visit, the Anne Frank House, the Red Light District. I don't really do drugs or anything, but, see what that seems like. Maybe take a canal ride. That's what I'm going to do. If I'm going to be there, that's what I want to pay for. as well. So you want to pay for your flights, your hotel, and then your excursions. Like I've said, think about adding about an extra $500 to your cruise to help pay for this. It's about $150 uh, per excursion. And we may do 3 to 4 excursions once I start looking into that. Okay, so you want to be paying for that. Then you want to be thinking about other costs like bingo, especially restaurants, especially coffee, spas, and there's other little costs. It's buying things inside the shops, buying alcohol. All that stuff does add up very, very quickly on the ship. Okay, spending money. Now, the thing about Norway is that they use the krona. You cannot buy krona in Norway for some reason. It's really weird that you cannot buy krona. So you'd have to get it here. However, they take credit cards everywhere. Okay. But let's say you're on excursion, you want to pay your tour guide, you can give your tour guide a euros instead. Okay. You can't go to the store and pay in euros, but you may pay your tour guide, 10 euros or whatever it is, after the cruise, after the excursion, if you like. Okay. Now you're going to need health insurance and cruise insurance. These are two different things. Now, most people have health insurance on their credit cards. But we can also, Courtney can help set that up for you as well. Cruise insurance is important because let's say you get sick in the morning and you can't make it on your cruise anymore. They'll help, you'll get a partial refund or maybe full refund. If we miss a port, like there's things that come with cruise insurance, that you get, lost, stolen items, like those things can be covered with cruise insurance, as well. Health insurance as well. I guess Norway, I mean, it's not like the United States. If you get sick, it's probably not going to cost you as much as if you were in the United States, but you never know what's going to happen when you're doing that. Something else that's added to our package right now is called the Have It All package. Okay. And originally when I was like, I'd say, oh, don't do it. But I'm going to say you do want to do the Have It All package. Now this will change. Eventually it will no longer be in our package, eventually be a separate thing. And right now it's $500 outside of our package, but you are going to get, all of your alcohol beverages paid for under a certain price. I think it's like $14. And $14, and you get 14, it's about 14 beverages per day that you are going to get. Okay. You're not going to drink that much. However, alcohol can add up very quickly. You may have a wine here, wine there, and then you're like, oh, I've spent $200 for that. Okay. And that way you don't have to worry about it. You get specialty coffee, specialty teas, bottled water. You can drink the water on the cruise ship and you're not going to get sick. I mean, bring a water bottle, fill it up. It's fine. You just can't fill it actually at the water station that they have there. You have to use a cup. But anyways, what else? If all you can drink pop is there. It also includes Wi-Fi. I think the Wi-Fi wasn't great in Norway, so you may want the ship Wi-Fi if I remember anyways, on it. But yeah, you want that. Then it comes with one specialty restaurant. It comes with $100 discount on an excursion, and we get one special other package thing that we're getting that I remember. I forgot what Courtney said, but yeah, so we're going to be getting that. So the Have It All package is worth it. Okay. You need to know though, if you share a room with somebody, they also have to get the alcohol package. Whatever drinking package you get, they have to get it as well. Okay. So you do have to keep that in mind if you do want to share a room with somebody, they also have to get the package, which is very important. Now, the longer you wait, the cost of the cruise is going to go up, right? So maybe the down payment may go down. Okay. And right now the down payment's around 550 for the down payment. You have until, like I've said, until about March of next year, to put that down payment down. You got to have fully paid by April 1st. And that's when we have it all. Once you also join us, we will also have special events. Okay, we're going to have some amazing events. when before we even go. I want to make sure that everybody knows everybody before we go. I think that's very important. So we might have dinner at Jack Astor's. We might do dinner at my place. Maybe we'll go for drinks here. Maybe we'll probably do 3 to 4 events before we go. So at least everybody can make it at least once to come out and meet everybody before we go. I don't want anybody showing up and be like, I don't know anybody. I don't feel comfortable. At least when you show up, you're like, oh, I know this person. I met this person. Or, oh, I met that person. I'm not feeling them, which is perfectly fine. And yeah, I want everybody to have a great time. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm so excited to be doing this with everybody. I can't wait to be doing this. This is going to be my first cruise with Meetup. I can't wait to, make new friends on this cruise, get to know people even more in depth with them because you're going to be with people for a long time. Yeah, it's going to be a great time to do it. And I believe that everybody's going to get something out of it. It's going to be a life-changing experience. Okay. I do want to say once again that you do have to be independent for this as well. I have an independent statement, self-sufficient statement if you sign up, and you can read through that. But basically, you have to be able to be physically independent to be on uh, on the trip. You have to be able to be emotionally ready to be on the trip. You have to be cognitively able to uh, take part, being able to do these things with us, right? We don't want to put any burden onto anybody else. Meetup members are the most sweetest members, but at some point it becomes too much and it takes away from their experience. So we do need to remember that we need to be respectful of people's boundaries and that you can independently do the activities and what we're doing on the ship. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for watching this video. I cannot wait to see everybody. Hopefully we'll get a good turnout. I'd love to have 10 to 12 people on this cruise with us. Thank you again, and I can't wait to see everybody at an event very shortly.